key tournament has already got to upper brackets and finally ready to compete later today. But first we have a mouth-watering clash between the top teams from Europe and Southeast Asia ready to battle it out to force their opponent into the lower bracket. StarLadder also have their first elimination match of the tournament where Team Tinker will be hoping to bounce back after an out-of-sorts second game performance against Cloud9 earlier today. Main stage. Team Secret vs Team My Want to go sub it. Team Secret 80%, Team My 20%. Team My were only formed at the end of last month, but the team have already gone on to imprint itself as one of the best Southeast Asian teams competing at the moment. Formed from some of the most talented players from Malaysia including 3 former Orange and Titan players, Team My have managed to secure qualification for 3 major LAN events already. However, this is their debut event and they will be coming up against the GOATS rankings #1 team in the world in their opening match. Team Secret will definitely be favorites for this match, but it will definitely be a test to see how far Team My have come over the past month and if they can get anything from this match. Game 1 Team My wins. Team My fielded an aggressive draft with Axe, Viper and Corleshrak to compete against a lineup featuring Shadow Fiend, Earthshaker and Lena. The early pressure from Team My was proving to be a success with Viper sitting far above his opponents on the net worth charts as Secret seemed to falter with all their first-tier towers gone in the first 14 minutes. The series of big team fights began with Team My increasing their advantage and hard-fought Roshan battle saw Team Secret lose 4 to secure to stop the Malaysians from claiming the Aegis. The slow siege by Team My allowed them to claim their first tier 3 tower with little in response from their European opponents. Leading by a gradually increasing amount of 22 kills, Team My claimed their first barracks and despite a series of team fights, Team My continued to push the match into a non-redeemable stage and secured the dominant victory in the 45th minute. Game 2 Team Secret wins. Team Secret needed to bounce back from their opening loss to bounce back in the series and met a draft featuring the safe lane Storm Spirit and the lane Night Stalker. Secret's support's decision to hug the mid lane allowed Poppy's Paint to turn around a first blood attempt to secure the opening kill with Kuraki. Their early game advantage was dampened by an aggressive ViCi playing Bristleback who caused havoc on the bot lane. Team My were attempting to replicate the successful early game pressure from the first game, but as the game pushed into the mid-game, Secret were able to start securing some important kills. The counter push by Secret to damage the tier 3 tower while My pushed bot was punished, but it showed the danger of letting Kuraki's heal slip through the dragging process. The massive team fight in the enemy jungle saw European team wipe the Malaysians, only to repeat their team fight success 2 minutes later. Team Secret were on the warpath and with the critical damage from RTZ's Phantom Assassin, Team My's advantage had almost vanished. Determined to turn this game around, Team Secret assaulted the enemy base and RTZ annihilated their opponents outside their own fountain to force an end to the game and even out the series. Game 3 Team My wins. Possibly sensing My's weakness in the previous game, Secret first picked the IO, this time with the addition of Tiny. Kuraki was already causing havoc with his tether, but the Malaysians were able to take another early game advantage. Narrowly ahead through the early game with a rare appearance from Zai's Sand King and S4's Zeus, both struggling to make an impact on the game. An incredible stun on RTZ and Kuraki instantly as they relocated in to secure a kill saw 3 heroes die on Secret and enforce My's superiority, but soon enough the Tiny and IO combination were attempting to wrap their way to victory on the bottom lane. But it was My that broke into the enemy base first, taking the building each time they were able to push into their opponent's base. Secret were running out of options by 33 minutes, with no chance to split push with Kuraki due to the sheer building damage from a protected Kixie's juggernaut by Mushi repel. The last-ditch Russian attempt was caught out and with nothing left in the tank, Team Secret were forced to call GG by 35 minutes and allow Team My to secure an impressive opening victory in their debut LAN event. A sensational victory for a team formed only a single month ago. Second stage, Team Tinker vs London Conspiracy 2-0. A big focus on Team Tinker over their previous series was Bulb, rated by many as the MVP of the opening game only to suffer immensely with Night Stalker in the second. This game he was drafted on an unusual off-lane Faithless Void, a role he dominated on. But it was the safe lane that came under fire with an endless early game battle with London Conspiracy picking up multiple kills against Black Circumflex Accent and Wavo. Progressing towards the mid-game, the stats between the teams were fairly even apart from a massive net worth lead for Kaiserslautern. Bulba was responsible for gradually bringing Tinker back into the game with a series of great chronospheres combining with the magical damage of Coach V8 Zeus. A dangerous 27-minute push with Necronomicons from Conspiracy was met by a solid defense from the American team, but a team wipe allowed the Greeks to claim an Aegis and a big advantage with barracks exposed. But Bulba's chronospheres continued to catch multiple heroes to keep them in the game at multiple stages through the game, and Team Tinker eventually secured the 48-minute victory after a hard-fought battle. Game 2 Team Tinker wins. Team Tinker secured an early kill advantage over their opponent with a draft featuring Shadow Fiend, Anti-Mage and Nyx Assassin, as London Conspiracy were punished for their mistakes. By 15 minutes the American team had taken a substantial kill lead, but the game had a slow pace to it, with Conspiracy seeming to prepare for the late game. But with the size of Coach V8's Shadow Fiend building past 12,000 net worth and repeated deaths for Radox or Zax, it was questionable whether they could actually reach that stage. With Wado, Bulb and Coach V8 controlling the enemy jungle, Tinker forced Conspiracy to find farm elsewhere as Coach V8 increased in size. With a beyond godlike streak on his Shadow Fiend, Tinker finally started to begin destroying towers after the 30-minute mark. A failed Aegis steal by Kaiser allowed Tinker to take 2 sets of barracks and force the 35-minute GG to eliminate London Conspiracy from the tournament after 2-0 losses.